This week we are going to finish our discussion of transformations by adding the last two types of transformations. Last week we discussed translations, which is when you move a figure either up or down or left or right. And then we also discussed reflections, and we reflected things across the x-axis, and in that case you change your y. And when you reflect something across the y-axis, you change your x. And if you reflect something across a diagonal like y equals x, you would flip your x and your y coordinate. So we talked about all the different types of reflections, and we did several different types of translations. This week, we are going to discuss rotations and dilations. We're going to start the week with rotations today, and then tomorrow we're going to talk about dilations. So look at your notes on rotations, and it says, first of all, a blank around a fixed point called the center of rotation. And so we're going to call this a turn. In the past, you have heard this called either a turn, maybe a teacher may have said flip, but flip is actually reflection. So turn is a better word. Second, it says the figure rotates at a specific angle and direction. So I want to talk about direction for just a minute. There's two directions that we talk about with rotations, clockwise and counterclockwise. And if you can't remember, look at a clock in the room, and the direction that the second hand or even the minute hand and the hour hand are moving in, those are clockwise, and they move to the right. When we're talking about counterclockwise, the prefix counter means opposite. So it's the opposite of clockwise. So instead of rotating to the right, we are rotating to the left. For our notes, we are going to talk about counterclockwise rotation, which means to the left. And so if you have a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation, so if you remember, if we have a coordinate plane, it is broken into 4 parts, and if we were to draw a circle around this, how many degrees are in this circle? That is correct, 360 degrees. So since this circle makes up 360 degrees, and if we divide that circle into 4 pieces, we can say that each part of the circle is 90 degrees. And if we add 2 of the pieces together, so let's say, for example, this piece and this piece, that would add up to be 180 degrees. So if we add 2 pieces of the pie, we get 180. And if we add 3 pieces of the pie together, we would get 270. So that's a little bit of review about angles. So when we talk about rotating counterclockwise 90 degrees, that means we are going to move from one quadrant into the next quadrant and only move one 90-degree rotation. So when we do that counterclockwise, what happens to our x and our y is that you get a negative y and a positive x, and the ordered pair switches places. If we have 180-degree counterclockwise rotation, the x and the y stay in the same place, but they both switch signs. And if we have a 270-degree counterclockwise rotation, the x and the y once again switch places. So you have y, and also the x becomes negative, or it doesn't necessarily become negative, but the sign changes to the opposite sign of whatever it is. And it's the same thing in the 90-degree rotation. This sign changes. So if it's positive, it's going to change to negative. But if it's already negative, it's going to change to positive. And here, if this one is negative, it's going to change to positive. And if it's positive, it's going to change to negative. So these are the rules for counterclockwise rotations. So it's a little different if we were going in a clockwise direction. If you have a 90-degree clockwise rotation, you would switch your y and your x would become negative. And that is the same as right here, which is a 270-degree counterclockwise rotation. So 90 degrees clockwise and 270 degrees counterclockwise are exactly the same. 180 is no different. It stays exactly the same. And if you do a 270 degrees clockwise rotation, your x and y are going to change. And this is also the same thing as a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation. So now we're going to work some example problems, and that will help you to get a grasp of this. So I'm going to work the odd problems, and you're going to work the even problems for homework. So that will be number 2 and number 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. These are due by Friday, so make sure you put your answers in Schoology. Triangle ABC, or let's look at the directions first. It says graph and label each figure and its image under the given rotation about the origin. So we have triangle ABC with vertices 2, 7. So we start at the origin. We count over 1, 2, and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is A. 6, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's B. And C is 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1, and that is C. Now we connect. And we have our first triangle. So we're going to do a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation. So that means I'm going to rotate to the left. So I'm going to rotate one move from the first quadrant into the second quadrant. So when I do 90-degree counterclockwise, remember I'm changing my x and y to negative y and x. So the first thing I do, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go ahead and flip all my x's and y's. So instead of 2, 7, I'm going to have 7, 2. Instead of 6, 5, I'm going to have 5, 6. And instead of 4, 1, I'm going to have 1, 4. And then the next thing I need to do is make sure that I change all of these signs in the front. So instead of positive 7, I'm going to have negative 7. Instead of positive 5, I'm going to have negative 5. And instead of positive 1, I'm going to have negative 1. Now I have my new ordered pairs, so I'm going to graph those. So I'm going to start with negative 7, 2. So I start at the origin, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and go up 1, 2. So this is now A prime. B prime is negative 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and negative 5, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, That's B prime. And C is -1, positive 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is C prime. And I connect my points. And this is my new picture. So if you're struggling with this would be a good time to use patty paper. And what I want you to do is I want you to lay the patty paper over the top of the ordered pair. I want you to trace the x-axis and the y-axis and trace your original picture, which is triangle A, B, C. And then I want you to take the entire piece of patty paper and I want you to turn it one turn to the left. And your old picture should now be on top of your new picture. So that way you can see how the rotation actually happens. Patty paper is a great use for rotations. It helps you to see if you did the rotation correctly and helps you to check to make sure you don't have any mistakes. So I want you to try number 2, which is a 180-degree rotation. So once again, this one doesn't say counterclockwise or clockwise because it really doesn't matter. It's going to go the same way because remember your X and Y don't change. I'm going to do number 3. So this is a trapezoid JKLM with vertices J3, which is 3, 4. So I'm going to start in the center and count 1, 2, 3 to the right, up 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a point. This is J. Sorry, I'm used to writing A. And then K is 6, 4. So start in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up 1, 2, 3, 4. That's K. L is 8, 1. So we go all the way over and up 1. M is 1, 1, which is right here. That's M. I'm sorry. And then we connect. Now we are going to rotate 270 degrees clockwise, or you could also say 90 degrees clockwise, which is 270 degrees counterclockwise. So we're going to write down my X and my Y, and we're going to write down what happens to X and Y. And that would be that the X and the Y swap places, and the X becomes negative. So in the last problem, all the first numbers became negative. In this one, all the last numbers are going to change signs. So I start by swapping my X and Y. So I have 4, 3, 4, 6, 1, 8, and 1, 1. And since everything in the Y position is positive, I'm going to change every one to negative. Now I graph my new points. So I have positive 4, negative 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Make a point, and that is J prime. Then I have 4, negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. K prime. L prime is 1, 8, so over 1, negative 8, which is all the way down to the bottom. That's L prime. And M prime is 1, negative 1, so over 1 and down 1. So that's M prime. Now we connect our points. And there is my rotation. Like I said, this is 270 degrees counterclockwise, which is the same as 90 degrees clockwise. So if I were going in this direction, I would go from one quadrant over. But if I go from this direction, I go 3 quadrants to the left. 1 quadrant to the right or 3 quadrants to the left. And once again, this is a great use for patty paper. So use your patty paper, draw your X and Y axis and your original picture, and then rotate it 3 times to the left or 1 time to the right. So you're gonna do number 4 for homework. So once again, this is another 180-degree rotation where all you do is change the signs of all your ordered pairs. Number 5, I have a rhombus that starts with C, which is -5, +5. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's C. D is -1, 7. So -1, +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's D. E is -3, 3. So I go over 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2, 3. That's E. F is -7, 1. So I go over -7 and up 1. And that is F. Remember to label your points. It's really important to make sure that you know where your starting point is so that your end points are also labeled the same, or you'll write the wrong ordered pairs down. I'm going to connect. Make sure you use a ruler so you have nice straight lines. And now I'm going to do a 270-degree counterclockwise rotation, which is the same as 90 degrees clockwise. So I'm going to go 1 this way or 3 that way, since I'm starting here. So when I do that, my X and Y switch places, and my last number changes signs. So first of all, I'm going to change 5, and then this number is -5. So since it's going to change signs, I'm going to leave it +5. This would become 7, -1, so I would change it to 7, +1, since we changed the sign of the second number. This becomes 3, -3, so this is actually 3, +3, and then instead of 1, -7, it would be 1, +7. Also look at your signs. Everything here is positive because your picture is going to wind up in the first quadrant, and remember, first quadrant is always positive, positive as far as your ordered pairs go. So I'm going to graph my new picture. So 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's C prime. D prime, 7, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up 1. That's D prime. E prime is 3, 3. And F prime is 1, 7. Now I'm going to connect. Make sure you use a ruler. And there is my rotation. Once again, this is a great use of patty paper to check to see if you did that right. I'm going to draw that line again. Well, that one didn't look a whole lot better. Okay, so you're going to do number 6, which is a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation. or a 270-degree clockwise rotation. Let's do number 7, the parallelogram. So I have M, and I'm going to rotate that 180 degrees. So that means I'm going to change all of my signs. So if I have an X and a Y, it's going to become the opposite of X and the opposite of Y. M is 1, 7, so 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Label your point. N is 8, 5, so all the way over, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. O is 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1, 2. P is negative 3, 4, so I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, and up 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a point. That's P. Now I'm going to connect my lines. Now I'm going to change my ordered pairs. So instead of 1, 7, I have negative 1, negative 7. Instead of 8, 5, I have negative 8, negative 5. Instead of 4, 2, I have negative 4, negative 2. Now be careful on the last one. Instead of negative 3, I'm going to have a positive 3, and the positive 4 changes to negative 4. Because remember, we're doing the opposite signs. So now I'm going to graph my new points. Negative 1, negative 7 is M prime. Negative 8, negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 4, negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Three, negative 4, so positive 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is P prime. Connect your points. Remember to use a ruler. So now we have a 180-degree rotation. Either clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't matter, you still get the same answer. Once again, you can use your patty paper to check your answer, draw your X and Y axis on the patty paper, and then draw the original, rotate it 2 times to the left or 2 times to the right, and you can check to make sure that the picture, the second one that you drew and the first one line up exactly, and they should. Number 8 on the homework is a 270 degrees counterclockwise rotation, which is the same thing as 90 degrees clockwise. So I have a square, starts with negative 7, 5, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise or 270 degrees clockwise. My X and Y are going to change to negative Y, positive X. And this is like the first example that we worked. So negative 7, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is A. Negative 4, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's B. C is negative 2, positive 1, 2, 3, 4. And D is negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Now I connect the points. So there's my square. So now I've drawn my original square, and I need to rotate that 90 degrees counterclockwise. Now I want you to try this one on your own. So I'm going to pause the video and then walk around and watch you work. The first 3 people that get it correct, you'll get some Trojan bucks. So go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to start now and show you what it should look like. So my ordered pairs are the new ones. I'm going to first of all swap the X and the Y. So I'm going to have +5, -7, +7, -4, +4, -2, and +2, -5. So I've swapped my X and Y, but now I need to make the first one, or I have to change the sign. So +5 becomes -5. -7, +7 becomes -7. +4 becomes -4, and +2 becomes -2. So now I'm going to draw my new figure. So it's -5, -7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is A prime. B prime, -7, -1, 2, 3, 4. C prime, -1, 2, 3, 4, -2. And D prime, -2, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to connect my points. And that's where it moved to. So once again, you can use your patty paper, lay it on your paper, draw the lines, and draw your original picture, and then rotate it 90 degrees to the left one time, or 270 degrees to the right, which is 3 times. Every time you move your patty paper one time around, it's a 90-degree rotation. All right, so let's look at number 11. So I have triangle DEF. So I'll start in the middle, and my first ordered pair is 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's D. E is 6, 2. So over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 2. And then F is +1, -2. Now I've got to connect my points. So when I have a 270-degree counterclockwise rotation, what does my X and Y do? If you don't remember, because I know this is the first day, look at the board. 270 degrees counterclockwise is the same as 90 degrees clockwise. And so therefore, my X and Y are going to change places, and the last number changes signs. So instead of 4, 5, I'm going to have 5, -4. And I put that in the wrong place. This is supposed to be Y, -X. So my first ordered pair is 5, -4. So the second one would be -2, -6. And the last one is -2, -1. So I want you to try and draw that now. So 5, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is d prime. Negative 2, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E prime, and negative 2, negative 1 is F prime. So as you can tell, I just did that wrong. So I'm going to try that again. 5, negative 4, so that's positive 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4. That's d prime. Negative 2, negative 6 is over here, so I'm going to go 2 to the left and down 6, and that's E prime. And F prime is negative 2, negative 1. Now I can draw my lines. And there is my 90-degree clockwise rotation or my 270 degrees counterclockwise rotation. Remember, use your patty paper to check your answer and see if you got it right. Draw the X and Y axis, draw the original, and then rotate it 1 time to the right or 3 times to the left. Homework for tonight, like I said, is the even problems, 2 through 12 even. You'll put your answers in Schoology, and they are due by Friday. Also, on Schoology, I have included pictures of the anchor charts that we use in class, so that if you need them at home to know what the rules are, you can use those. Thank you.